What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, do you occasionally come across one of those knives where it has like just an odd shape, possibly a different type of sheath, and you're like, man, I just can't figure out how I quite want to carry this. Um, well, I ran into that with this Bastinelli Knives Primal, and I ran into it with a few other blades too, and been kind of searching for a solution besides having another sheath made or something like that. I'm like, there's got to be something out there, and I stumbled across a company called Invader Concepts. Okay. These guys make chest holsters and things like that for hunting, camping, hiking, whatever, for firearms. But they happen to have a thing called the Blade-lok system. And I was checking it out and I said, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm going to order one of these. And here it is, guys. This is the Blade-lok system. Now, I think it's a very cool and kind of innovative setup, and we're going to find out if it works because this is my first time really getting this thing out. This is going to be my first time putting a knife on it. We're going to see how this thing works. So the concept behind this is basically is you have two sides to it. You have this kind of gray side right here, and then you also have like a Velcro side. This has got hook and loop in it. So if you have a backpack or something like that, theoretically you could fold this over, attach your sheath to this, and you could stick this onto Velcro inside your bag, outside your bag, wherever you want. You can also fold this over. It folds over either way, and you can wrap this around your strap on your backpack. So you mount it up here so you can have your knife in a horizontal carry position, um, anything like that. With all of these little slots in here, there's three screws that come with it. Actually, there's some extras here in the bag as well. You can theoretically mount these blades in almost any position you want. You just have to be able to have holes in the sheath and line up at least two of them, and you should be able to rock and roll. It also comes with this beta loop strap, which will work very well as well, which works too. If you didn't want to fold this over and go through the trouble of screwing these two pieces together right here, because see it comes with two screws right here, and then line up with those two holes. You fold it over, screw it together, bam, it's secure. If you didn't want to mess with having to screw that all the time, you can actually mount this beta loop strap onto here, down here, like so, and then it folds over, and then the snap part is in here as well. You put that right there, and then you can just always fold this over and snap it, and then have it secure that way as well. So, which is cool because this is a pull dot system, so it will only go on and off one way. So if you accidentally catch this on something, it's very difficult to pop off unless you're specifically pulling it a certain way. So there's a lot of different options there, which I think are really cool. For you to be able to mount your blade just about any orientation that you want. Now this is the standard size. There is a larger version of this. If you have a backpack that has like really thick shoulder straps or really wide ones, there is one that's slightly larger than this that you can get. And definitely check out their website, Invader Concepts. I'll have a link for it down below. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything like that. I bought this with my own money, so this is just kind of my full, honest little look at this system here. But before we go any deeper, guys, I do have to give a quick word to a sponsor, Wicked Industries, guys. They're makers of Wicked Wax and Wicked Clean. Two great products that I use to help keep my blades protected. I utilize the Wicked Clean to clean them up, and then the Wicked Wax to help protect them against the elements, rust, humidity, water, stuff like that. It really helps to keep your blades protected. And then at the end of the day, when you're done with your hunting trip, camping, whatever it is, your hands are beat up, your feet are dried out, your knees are skinned, utilize Wicked Rescue, guys. It's an all-natural product. Put it on your hands, helps moisturize your hands. Put it on any rough spots, helps soften them up. And you're good to go, guys. So definitely check out Wicked Industries. There's a link for them down below. So let's get back to the system. Now this is all new to me, guys. I just literally popped this out of the bag that it came in. It came with this bag of some extra screws and stuff. It has the three here, and then you have your beta loop strap. But other than that, there was no instructions. So I did watch a YouTube video. They do have a YouTube video up where it talks about utilizing the system. I do believe there was a redesign that happened because some of the stuff that they talk about in the video is not on this system. And in their video, they only had Velcro on half the part, and then instead of a beta loop strap, they had like a Velcro strap, which didn't come with this. So I'm thinking maybe they figured out it didn't work so well or something. I could be wrong. Invader Concepts, if you're watching this video, let us know down in the comments. But so I am kind of going on the fly with this because it didn't come with instructions. So, but I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's not really that. It's not rocket science, guys. So let's undo these screws right here. So these are going to be your mounting screws. And I will point out that these were pretty tight when they came on. When I opened up the package, you will have to hold onto the back with a pair of pliers or something like that to get these off at first. But once you break them loose, they're good to go. And one thing they did say was if you're going to use this for one knife and pretty much one knife only, or whatever you want to mount it one knife and just keep it that way, they do recommend that you use some thread locker. I would say blue Loctite. Do not use red, or you'll never get it off. But utilize some blue Loctite if you're going to be running just kind of one knife and keep it set up one way. I'm going to probably be switching different knives out of this system, so I'm not going to use thread locker because I'm going to be trying different ways, different knives, different things like that. So we got those screws out. Let's take off the, these are the screws right here for attaching it together. And we'll utilize those first. Again, these did come a little tight, so I'm going to use a pair of pliers to hold the back here so I can break this one loose. Once you break them loose, they're pretty easy. It's just hold on to them. Realistically, I probably should be using a flathead screwdriver, but I do not have one readily available. I'm utilizing this one with a Phillips, so there we go. Got them broke loose. Now I can undo them with my fingers. Not an issue there. Again, it's just kind of one of those things you got to play around with a little bit. And once we get it dialed in, I don't think you're going to have too much of a hard time. There are some little rubber grommets to help keep them separated, which is nice. And I like those little rubber grommets too because they also help keep your backer in place as you're trying to screw these together. You guys played around with sheaths and stuff like that any bit? Sometimes they can be, these screws can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. So it's nice that those little grommets are there to help keep stuff in place while you're trying to put the screw in, especially when you got something with really small screws. So take those off, take that off. So we'll keep those right there. Bam. So, because what I'm going to do is once I get the knife mounted, I am going to screw this together. And this Velcro does have hook and loop built in, both of it. It's combined. So if you actually see this, I can pinch this together and it's holding together. But now, would I trust that to be super secure? No, I would definitely put the screws back in there or utilize this beta loop strap, and we'll look at that too. So, but right now, what we're going to do is I want to carry this Bassonelli knives in a pretty much a horizontal position, a straight up and down position, like so. So what I'm doing is I'm going to open this up. I'm looking through the slots to line up holes to get this in the position that I want to see if it will even line up. And the two widest holes I can line up in two spots. And then I actually have a third one down here that I can line up. So if I really want this super secure, I can actually do a 3 screw setup, which will work out nicely. So we got that lined up. We're going to take one of our backers, push it through, line it up with a hole, push it through, like so. And these are a little bit narrow, so you do have to kind of wiggle them through, which is good because obviously you don't want them sliding off, or you don't want to drop them and lose them. Sometimes I got big old mongoloid fingers, guys. Sometimes these things are a little bit tricky for me. Bam. So got that in there, and it's nice and tight, guys. So I'm gonna line this up again. Line that up with that hole. Bam. So that one's pretty much in place. I'll take this screw, run it in here. I'm just gonna finger tighten it just so it holds it in place. Tighten everything down after we get it kind of dialed in. So that one's there. We're going to do this hole over here now. So again, it's kind of cool because it's basically utilizing this one little slot right here. So I can actually, if I want to cant this a little bit more that way, I can cant it fully back and I got this hole lined up right here. Or I can rock it forward and it's a little bit off, but I think it'll still work right there. So it's kind of like, again, something you can just play with a little bit, get it dialed in. So we got that lined up. We'll slide this one in. Get it lined up. I want it to be a little bit lower, so we'll slide this down just a little bit. And again, these don't slice super easy, but that's kind of a good thing because they're kind of locked in place a little bit. That's where I want it. Let's get this dialed in right here. Bam, that's in place. Hold that with our finger. We're going to finger tighten screw this. Oh, dropped it. Sorry, I thought it was lined up there. It wasn't. So sometimes these tutorial videos are a little fun because you're learning along with me. We're dialing these things in. Some people will go through and do everything after they've done it a bunch of times. But I like to show you guys, well, how does this work if you're the first time user? What type of issues can you run into? And that's what I'm showing you guys right now. These are kind of like the little things that you can run into. So I actually have this locked in 2 spots right here. I don't have it tightened down yet. If I wanted to do a third screw down here, I could as well. But I do want to leave this, I think, just a little bit flexible so I can get the screw backing back here, and so I can fold this over and we can rock it that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and tighten this down. Get that tight. Get this one tight. Bam. Good to go there. So now we need to put our secured screws on here. So I'm going to run this one through the back here. Actually, once I get this one kind of on here, I do believe if I wanted to put that third screw there, I could. But again, I don't think it's really necessary. It's just that little bit of extra additive you need it, I guess. So we got those two. Oh, sorry. Oops. Meant to do. I was doing it the wrong way, guys. I meant to fold over and then put the grommet. And then we're going to take our screw. Actually, I guess it would work the other way as well if you wanted it to. As long as you're utilizing it, I guess it's going to work either way. I actually think I prefer it that way as well. So let's do that. Let's take this out. You guys can try to show you guys this as much as possible here. And see that Velcro also stuck to itself, which is nice. Put that one right there. That's locked on. Drop that again because I got giant mongoloid fingers. Push this one through this side. Utilize that rubber grommet over that one. I'm going to close this up. It does give you a little bit of space there if you need it. Again, if you don't need it, you can always remove those rubber grommets and make it a little bit more snug. I guess it just depends on the size of your belt as well. Screw this together. Just go finger tight for right now. You always come in and lock these down if you need to afterwards. Make them super tight. Bam. So now I have the blade set up in a horizontal carry position like I like. I can run my belt through here. I can run this up on my hip now, and then I can draw out, do whatever it is I got to do, rock it back in. If I wanted to, I could mount this to a strap pack or something like that. Like if I wanted to draw it this way, it just kind of depends on what you want to do. But you can see there, you got plenty of room to run belt padding through there. If you wanted to, you could take the sheath off. You can run this to where you carry just turn this way. You can run it in a um, horizontal scout carry position if you want. So again, it gives you just tons of different options, and it really wasn't that hard to put this together. Um, Fairly easy once you get your initial screws loose and kind of figure out your placement. It's not really that hard. Now, if you're going to run this with multiple knives, um, you know, I definitely don't use thread locker unless you're going to really want to fight with them a lot. But bam, just like that, easy to take it off. Now, if I want, I can, again, if I want to run this scout carry, I could always come in, put the sheath this way, line up the holes and things like that, and we could do it scout carry. So one of the other ways, if you don't want to be, again, having to take these, when you're pressing this together, if you don't want to be having to screw these parts together all the time, the other option you have is this beta loop. So we're going to put that on. So we'll pop those out. We got our 2 screws, all our screws, and our grommets right there. Let's get this bad boy out. So here you have your snap for the beta loop. I believe it's this one. Oh, sorry, it's not that one. Tricky part is, like I said, you got to figure out which nuts and screws go to where. So you're going to take this little shorty backer, push it through the middle. Again, it's a little snug, but I think it's a good thing because then it helps. There we go. Got it. Oh, popped out on me, kind of. So now we're going to take our snap piece. Got flies flying around here, guys. Put that over the top, and then we're going to run our screw down in there. So it holds the snap in place. Get this guy lined up. Yeah, so there you go. You got your little dot right there. Now, you just got to figure out where you want this placed at here. We're going to just go right here. We're going to use that middle one. And then you can utilize one of the existing screw setups for the sheath. Again, once you get this part through, it's held in place pretty good. You come in here, put this right over the top. We're just going to go with the middle one. Push that through, and then we'll utilize the screw. Like so. Sorry guys, I gotta get a little bit better with my tutorials. Again, like I said, we're kind of doing this together on the fly. So now we have the beta loop set up. You can mount your sheath, close this up around your pack, come over the top, utilize that pull dot system, and now it's secured onto your bag, belt, whatever it is. You know, you can run it this way or you're running your pouch that way. It just makes it a little bit of a quicker setup than screwing these two pieces together. So it just kind of depends on how you want to set your system up. You want it to be a quick, easy setup, you know, so you can pop that open. You can open this up and then, you know, mount it this way, whatever it is you want to do. It's totally up to you. And that's what I really kind of dig about this little setup here is it's giving you just tons of options to be able to run this however you want. So here I have a deep carry concepts pocket clip on this half face blades Ishii. We're going to take that off and we're going to set this up for a scout carry real quick. Unscrew these. Take out these screws and these little grommets. There we go. So I want to set this up for a scout carry. I need to be able to put this around my belt quickly. So we are going to utilize this side of the sheath because we do have the strap here, so we have to take into account the strap. So we can actually run it like this. You guys can see here. And then once you have it dialed in, your snap will be facing your body. I could be doing that wrong too, guys. It's completely, or if you wanted to, you could, no, that wouldn't work that way. So let's do that. We're going to set this up scout style this way. Line up these holes. Make sure we're good to go. Bam. I like it, guys. It's a cool little system, man. Again, like I said, it makes it easy for you to adjust your knife system, your carry system, however it is that you like to run it. Gives you options. If you have odd shaped blades, if you like running a pack, if you want to run at a cant, like you can horizontal carry at a cant on your knife if you want to, like this, or you can run it like this, or you can even, well, theoretically, if I put this lower, you can even run it down at an angle if you wanted to. So it's very cool. Got tons of options here, which I dig. Options are always good. Customizing your stuff to fit your needs is always good, and I like it. I can make this work for me how I need it to work, which is cool. So get this one lined up. Sorry about that, guys. It is just a hair off. So again, you might have to do a little tweaking and adjusting every now and again to get things to line up. But this is a somewhat flexible system, but it does feel very well built. So speed up for this. There we go. Sorry, just had to get that lined up just a little bit. I can slide this down like so. Tighten that up. Rock it this way. Bam, now we're set up in a slightly canted horizontal carry. I can easily come in, put that over my belt, utilize this. Bam, now we're rocking and rolling. Or again, if you want to run it this way on a strap, you can run it up here, pull it out, do what you got to do, and get to work. So I like it, guys. I think it's a cool little system, a cool little setup. Again, tons of options. I know this video ran a little bit long, but I know I wanted you guys to kind of see real world, first time using it type of experience. There's little nuances to it where, again, getting some screws loose at first or things like that. And I mean, that's all kind of important to know. Um, I didn't want to just show you a dressed up, hey, look at how fast this is. I mean, that's not real. And I want to show you guys real world stuff and real world situations. And you can see that it took, for the first time out of the box, it took a second to kind of get things figured out, lined up. Not a problem. But now that I've done it a couple of times, every time I do it, it's going to get a little bit faster, a little bit easier. So it's good to know, right? So hopefully you guys um, got something out of this video as far as this Invader Concepts Blade-lok system. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to be utilizing it, definitely on a lot of different blades. Um, I'm not going to be Loctiting stuff down. I'm just going to be trying out different blades, different carry styles, different carry positions. I feel like this is going to allow me to really play around with some different carry positions with all of the flexibility that the system has to be able to mount this blade kind of in any direction you want. I might find that um, you know a slightly blade down setup is actually nice to carry. I don't know, or slightly canted this way, or you could cant it out a little bit this way if you want. Carry it horizontal, cant it up. I don't know. It's going to be fun to play around with this to figure out what different carry positions work better. And again, I really dig the fact that I'm going to be able to flip this around, stick this inside of my bags, my backpacks, things like that. I want to rock a bigger fixed blade in a backpack, but I want it secure in there, not flopping around. I know if I stick my hand in there, it's always going to be in the same spot. Being able to utilize the Velcro side of this is going to be a big help as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out as well. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If this is something that you're interested in, the link for Invader Concepts is down below. Go check them out. I ordered this. It came from Montana in a few days. I think it's a cool little system. Again, if you have a slightly bigger bag or something like that, they have a larger version available. You can click that as well and pick one up, guys. And then if you guys are looking for something like this half-face blades Ishii or any half-face blades, go check out the Knife Connection. They're an authorized dealer for them. They also have a lot of other brands as well. If you're interested in the Wicked Wax or anything like that, definitely go check out Wicked Industries. Wicked Industries. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, and have a good one.